example. When I lost my contract with Norton, which any academic, would cut off their own penis and murder their family to get the contract I had. Like they'll get like, if they get published in like the Atlantic, like they're like on this euphoric high for like a year. What I was offered was more than anyone that teaches at my parents' college that I've ever heard of. And I gave it up in a sense because I wouldn't censor myself, and they took the contract. And my dad, I remember he said, like, why couldn't you have just played the game, like just been quiet about this until after the book is published? And I was like, because, Dad, if I was like that, they wouldn't have wanted to hear what I had to say anyway. What would make me unique? What would make my voice unique? I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the most eloquent. I say like a lot. I say I forget what I'm talking about. It's because I won't kneel. It's because I will give that up. And when he said that, I was like pretty saddened by that because of the lack of ethics. And my dad has tenure, and all his buddies have tenure. And what tenure is it means you can't be fired for like what you say. You know, and I was always told that tenure was put into place during like the McCarthy witch trials, where God forbid people tried to call out the fact that there was communists infiltrating our government. Actual Russia collusion. And so because these mean, cruel, capitalist Americans, don't get me wrong, there was definitely some bad times back then, but you know, they had to make sure that the sources of truth and information that shaped the minds at colleges, that they were allowed to speak truth to power, that, you know, they couldn't be held down by tyrants and all this stuff. It's total bullshit. They give you tenure when you're a broken animal. The fact that they all agree on everything doesn't cue anyone in that tenure isn't exactly working. That these professors with tenure, none of them will speak out about, like, that's why it's like the trans child hormone thing is so, it's such a clear way to get your point across with this stuff. Because if you argue that that's good, you're clearly a horrible person. And that's pretty obvious to everybody, even people that have been indoctrinated and propagandized for decades. It's like, none of them speak out about people giving 9-year-olds hormone blockers so they'll never go through puberty. They'll become eunuchs because of behavior they displayed at 2. Yet they can't be fired for speaking out. So I thought, why is that? Well, it's because they only give you that when they know you're going to be a good boy. And if you're not a good boy, they'll kick you the fuck out. They'll find a way. Tenure doesn't protect shit. Like Brett Weinstein, who I had so much hope for because he was protected by conservatives and libertarians and right-wing people because he stood up for what he believed, even though he's a leftist and a progressive and a Jew and all this stuff. No one cared. And that's when you saw the real lack of bigotry, a lack of hate, I'll say. Bigotry is a nonsense word. On the right, when people like Tucker Carlson had him on. You know, Brett Weinstein is a leftist. Like, he wants, like, socialism. Like, he thinks God is made up. And then he just went right back because they ran him out of college because he was teaching at Evergreen State, and they were having a day without a white man where white people wouldn't go to class, and they'd let black people feel what the world would be like without whites and how great it would be, and because whites are so bad and all this stuff. And obviously that's insane. That's setting up a slaughter. That's demonizing a group of people. And it's a form of black supremacy, for lack of a better word. And the fact that he wouldn't do it, he was like, no, I don't want to have to, I don't want my demographic, my race and my race to determine my rights. And they like tried to kill him. They rioted. The whole college shut down. Bear in mind, he's a Jew. This is my whole point about Jews and demographics. It's like they didn't protect him at all. And he's a Jew. Like, where was all the Jew magic? Where's all the Jew cabal? Where's the Jew in-group preference? It was white. Jews weren't standing up to them. They're like, yeah, stick the dogs on him, eat him. That's why there is something called evil. And it isn't, I know I'm licking my lips a lot. I have like crazy chapped lips. It's like kind of insane. I put on chapstick today for the first time in probably 20 years because it's so gay feeling for me to put like something on my lips like that but I need it though. My chapstick, my lips are getting like legitimately, rocked. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that.